Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. People discover things all the time, some historically important, others downright creepy. But finding mysterious things in the most unexpected places is a whole different experience. So let us show you what scientists found inside different places that shock the world. Mummified cats. In ancient Egypt, cats were considered as sacred beings. They were seen as the protectors from evil. Like other sacred animal offerings, cats were mummified and had to be given a proper burial. But now, underneath the temples, the archaeologists have found a mysterious place, an underground storage for cat mummies. But this isn't the only thing that is being held by the tomb. It is a gnarly mess of humans and cat bones, all mixed together. This discovery has baffled the archaeologists, since this kind of mess has never been seen before in Egypt. According to one theory, priests used this tomb as a storage for cat mummies and different amulets, which they used to sell to the people, especially to the Greeks. Catacomb skeletons. You might have had a nightmare in which you were in never-ending tunnels and you end up finding something really scary. Catacomb of Paris is one such place from the nightmares. In the late 18th century, the cemeteries were overflowing with graves on top of graves, and the smell of the deceased surrounded the entire city. So the authorities came up with the perfect solution to handle this grave situation. They decided to exhume all the bodies and shove them under the city in chambers, which is now known as CATACOMB de Paris. When you visit these tunnels, you are going to find a ton of bones and skulls, giving this site an extra pump of spook. These chambers are home to 6 million corpses, and you can visit a small portion of this massive underground memorial. Remains of Franklin expedition. Humans have been fascinated by the Arctic since forever, and my attempts were made in the past to explore the mysterious and cruel lands of Antarctica. One such expedition was led by Sir John Franklin in 1845 in search for the Northwest Passage that ended in tragedy. The British polar exploration team had 129 men. All of them tragically perished. After quite a few recovery missions, the whereabouts of the 3 bodies were found. The bodies recovered are also dubbed as the most well-preserved human remains and were buried in Beechy Island, Canada. It looks like they have been sleeping in the permafrost for all these years. The Staffordshire Hoard. In 2009, an immature treasure hunter, Terry Herbert, stumbled upon the treasure that one can only dream of in a Staffordshire field. Anglo-Saxon jeweled artifacts made of gold and silver buried under the earth for more than 1,300 years, worth £3.285 million in today's time. For 3 years, a team of 30 experts had cleaned, conserved, and studied this hoard. It is unknown who buried this 4,000 pieces war gear hoard, but it belonged to the people holding the top ranks of Anglo-Saxon society. We don't know why someone had buried it there, but the experts have some theories, like the treasure could have belonged to a looter, or this could have been ransom for a king or prince, or it was an offering to the god. 3,200 years old, cheese. A group of archaeologists found something that no one could have expected. While exploring a tomb in Egypt, they found a few broken jars, one of them containing a mysterious white substance. They sent that white substance to the labs for testing, and the results were kind of weird. They had found ancient cheese. Approximately 3,200 years old, the tomb belonged to a higher-ranking individual who was also the mayor of the ancient city of Memphis. Unfortunately, the tests indicated the presence of a lethal bacteria known as Brucellosis, making it inedible. Pretty sure no one would have tried it either way. Megalopolis of ants. Who says only humans are capable of building mega cities? This abandoned megalopolis belongs to the ants, and it goes on to show how magnificent this tiny insect is. It took 10 tons of cement in 3 days to fill it in order to solidify the internal structure. After a month, it took machinery to dig through this mega structure, revealing a perfectly planned mega city made by these tiny workers. Each chamber is connected to another with road and side road. This is truly a wonder in itself and continues to baffle the scientists and the common people alike. Ancient whale fossil. When we think about whales, we associate them with the oceans, but finding their fossils in the middle of the desert, in the western part of the Egyptian desert, fossils belonging to the ancient whales are scattered around. These whales consist of limbs, indicating that they used to walk on land, and it is a crucial piece of evidence that shows how whales evolved into complete sea-dwelling animals. These land-walking whales are known as Ambulocetus. Another fossilized skeleton of the 20 meters long Basilosaurus can also be seen in the same area. Egypt was probably a sea heaven for prehistoric animals. Weird mass in sewer. While surveying the sewers of a village in North Carolina, the snake cam recorded an alien-like blob that appears to be breathing. This is the stuff of nightmares. This slimy, gross blob looks like it is going to burst open in a second, releasing billions of gross baby aliens. But fear not, my dear fellows, this isn't something out of a real-life horror movie, at least yet. This is a blob of worms all meshed together with one another, forming this blob. These worms are known as tubifex worms, and this is their colony. The breathing motion is caused by one worm twitching, causing others to mimic the same motion. These worms are found in damp areas like riverbanks and sewers. Hey, at least they aren't attacking anyone. Yet. Göbekli Tepe. In 1994, while working in his fields, Safik Yildiz, a Turkish farmer and shepherd, found an oddly shaped stone poking from the ground. On further investigation, the stone appeared to be a part of a much larger structure. He went to the local museum to inform them about his discovery. He was visited by a German archaeologist, and later a mass excavation took place that revealed an archaeological site dated to the pre-pottery Neolithic period. The entire site consisted of huge pillars-like structures. These T-shaped monoliths consisted of intricate carvings, and they were placed in a circular room-like area. Some of these stones weigh up to 20 tons. This archaeological site is 12,000 years old and is dubbed as the oldest temple, beating the pyramids and the Stonehenge. Tiny human ancestors. In 1924, while working in a mine in South Africa, a group of miners stumbled upon a tiny skull. The fossilized skull of a 3 or 4-year-old child was handed over to the archaeologist, who identified this species of human ancestors as Australopithecus africanus. This skull is the definite proof of their existence. The brain was 1/3 the size of modern humans and had human-like teeth, and they used to walk upright, so there is no chance that this skull could have belonged to an ape. Before the archaeologists and paleontologists could study the site to determine the period when Australopithecus roamed the earth, the site was destroyed by the miners, so not much is known about them even today. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by a subscriber. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows? We might even feature it in one of our videos. This picture looks like it belongs to the horror movie The Mummy, and all the mummies are taking a break from chasing down Richard O'Connor and his family. But this is not a scene from any movie. Rather, this spooky picture was taken in the Czech Capuchin crypt. This crypt is the final resting place of the Capuchin monks, who were placed beneath the church over a period of 300 years. But thankfully, this practice was banned due to the hygiene laws in the 18th century. These monks were never intended to be mummified, but the dry air and the soil mummified them over the years. Due to their vows of poverty, only one coffin was used for all the monks, and when they had decomposed, they were placed in the underground chamber with a brick under their heads as a pillow. Today, this place is a hot spot for the tourists. River YANGTZE's serpent. If there is one mythological creature that has kept humans fascinated throughout history, it's probably the Loch Ness Monster. Every time we see something slithering in the water, our first guess has to be the Nessie. In 2019, a video went viral on Chinese social media showing a meter-long creature slithering near the surface of the River Yangtze. This video was captured by a person who was standing on a ferry dock. The video has sparked a lot of fear regarding the river monster that is lurking in the Yangtze River. Many people are hopeful that this video will go on to prove the existence of the Loch Ness Monster as well. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye!